like the Cavs, we gotta let them know. They got it with a shield for bees head. They got it with a shield for bees head. Ballin' like the Cavs, we gotta let them know.
You are now locked in with Antoine Spivey. This is EnDaZone Sports.
What's going on, good people? Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Welcome to this episode of EnDaZone Sports, brought to you by DSMN Network. Also, we live on YouTube as well. Don't forget to hit that subscription button on the YouTube channel. For myself, Spivey, Kels, the truth of the building. What's good, man?
What's going on? Not much. Everything popping. Everything all right.
Everything. Shit, I wish it was all right, man. For the audience, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all can bear with me today, brother, going through it. Having leg issues, but the show got to go on. The show must go on. We got to get y'all what y'all want to hear. Y'all weekly sports talk. Of course, Monday and Friday here on the Spivey Media Network. Appreciate everybody for tuning in today. We got a hot show for y'all. We got a lot we're going to get into. We're going to talk about that Texas O.State game. We're going to talk about the Packers. Football is back. Thursday night football. Cowboys, Eagles. We're going to talk some Cavs basketball. We're going to also probably get in a little bit of Kel's favorite subject, which is fantasy football.
Why you always say that, man? It's something to do after the world is coming at you at all side angles. It's a distraction.
You can say that again. It is a distraction, folks. You can say that again. And the chaos Kells is causing that. But in all seriousness, y'all, let's get this show started, man. Let's start off with this O.State. Over the past weekend, man, defeated Texas 14-7, and which was a defensive game. Both defenses came out to play. It was the debut of Arch Manning, being the starting quarterback, starting season off quarterback for the Texas Longhorns. Ohio State had a new quarterback as well. Things was moving kind of slow, but all that whole weekend for college football period, it was like defenses was playing well. I mean, you had a couple of blowouts here and there, but nevertheless, O.State started off the season, 1-0, defeating Texas, and now move up in the rankings from number 3 to number 1. Give me your take on Saturday's game.
This game was very, very defensive minded. O.State played defensive well. Texas was 1-5 on fourth down, which was a key because they did come down there in the red zone and they kept going for it, and Ohio State was stopping them. They gave up a lot of rushing yards, though. Texas did have 166 yards rushing, but they stopped Archie Manning. Archie Manning only had like 170-yard passing yards. He also threw an interception, but that one touchdown pass was like a blown coverage or something, but that was a nice little pass. Other than that, Brian Hartline, the new OC, has to open it up a little bit, just a little bit, because you have a stallion and Jeremiah Smith that you have to get them involved in the game, and the two running backs, Peoples and Donald Jr., who are transferred, needs to hit the hole a little bit more. But other than that, great game. O-State number 1 now. Now we play Grambling. I think we played Grambling State this week. So kudos to the defense. Matt Patricia brought that NFL defense to them boys, and the Texas coach was like, he disguised his plays really well, his coverage, and Arch didn't understand because he's a young quarterback. But I saw some potential in Arch. Arch gonna get a little bit better with it, but he just went up against a juggernaut in O-State defense.
Yeah, going into this game, we talked about a couple of shows ago. Was going to be some big keys, and we talked about how O-State was missing a lot of defensive players after last season that moved on, whether it was in the NFL draft or whatever their foreseeable future was after last football season. But Matt, again, like you just stated, Matt Patricia came in there with a great game plan. They did an excellent job against Texas. Passing game, run game a little bit too. I mean, after they had a couple of big breaks, but it wasn't like they was just like that Michigan game was. It wasn't nothing like that, but it was just annihilate us on the ground. So defensively, I was very surprised at how well they played. I knew they have a decent to good defense. I'm saying more or less good defense, but I thought it was gonna come later on during the season. Later on in the season, once they played together a whole bunch of games, but they came out game one, fired on all cylinders on the defensive end. So again, kudos to them on that side of the ball. You mentioned Brian Hartline. Like one thing, man, listen, just because a team is not getting balls to playmakers, all like that. Not necessarily mean that the coach ain't opening up the playbook. He need to open up the playbook. If you look at even the game last year against Texas, they just did an excellent job on Smith, and they did another great job on him this past weekend. I mean, he had what? He ended the game with
6 catches for
6
yards.
catches.
6 catches for 43 yards.
And they played well against them last year. Just sometimes defenses know how to scheme against you to make you, you know what I'm saying, have to do other things you don't want to do. If you look in the NFL, how teams are now starting to play against the Dolphins. They're taking a big play away from Tyreek Hill,
Right.
which is limited to him to being a Tyreek Hill that we know or that we are accustomed to seeing him being, especially in his Kansas City days and his first 2 seasons in Miami.
Right.
The big explosive plays. So certain times defense is just, they got a good game plan. I won't be surprised if you see next week against Grambling, they come out and just dropping bombs here and there, because you know what I'm saying, Grambling ain't got the defensive talent as a Texas team where they could game plan against a Smith.
Right.
I can't get the young man's name out.
Tate.
No, one I caught the touchdown pass. I can't get his
That
name.
was Tate.
Yeah, Tate. I didn't hear you say Tate, my bad. I thought you said something.
Yeah.
Tate. So, but nevertheless, not taking away for nothing for what they did Saturday. It was a defensive game. Sometimes games come down to the defensive side of the football. And O.State did it. They stopped them on the 4th down, which sealed the game. Now, as far as Arch Manning, there was a lot of hype coming into this game. Again, I just think he ran into a defense that was playing well. Do I think he's going to play like that every week? No, I do agree with you. As far as he will get better the more games he plays. And maybe he could be that type of quarterback that's worth that number 1 pick like everybody thinking, especially going into next season or the year after that. So, but again, it's always good to start the season off with a W to get that first win up under your belt. O.State did it. Now let's build on that. Let's not go into the Grambling game looking at it like, you know, it's like we look at past them. Never want to look past none of your opponents, and we continue to keep building, get better throughout the duration of the season. So I'm happy with O.State. I'm happy with what they did. I'm happy with what I seen, and they're going to get better, especially on the offensive side of football.
Right. Yeah, they're going to have to. I think they're going to have to get the running game together, the blocking or the scheme. It seemed like the running backs wasn't hitting the holes as well. But that's probably, they young, so Brian Hartline probably go get to know what type of plays to run for them now, because this is his first time being an OC too. So I'll give it a pass, but you know, you cannot get stagnant or not being aggressive against a team that can score like Texas. So
Hartline, don't give up too much. Kels will be watching the game. He might try to steal stuff from you.
Hey, that's the name of the game. You learn, you look, and you learn. So that's the name of the game. I always say, it's a copycat league.
But you so much good and so much better than everybody. You shouldn't have to do all that.
And I don't. So
you say what?
And I don't. So I don't know what y'all talking about.
You said it came out your own mouth.
I said it's a copycat league, but
I ain't talking about that. If you watching Peacock, you know what I'm talking about.
If Peacock watching, I don't know what y'all talking about. Once again, y'all trying to reach for something because
nobody reached for that. It came out your own mouth, my brother.
Distract me from the goal. So
it's okay. It's okay, man. You accomplished something that I didn't think nobody would ever be accomplished. But we ain't about to get on that right now. I'm gonna say that towards the end of the show. O.State gonna be better, man. I ain't too much worried about it. Again, it was against the number 1 ranked team, Texas, and they came out and did what they did. And they did a good damn job of it. Now they ranked number 1. So big ups to O.State.
Hey, and, you know, and I know that was Lorenzo Styles' son. You know, he very same number. who did a pretty good job at the linebacker position.
You gonna take his number next?
I don't like 0. 5 and 7 and 20 is my number.
Zero fits you well. With the big trade that happened last week with Michael Parsons being shipped from Dallas to rival Green Bay Packers, does that move now make the Packers the biggest threat to knocking off the Philadelphia Eagles from going to a second straight Super Bowl?
No. The biggest threat is still Detroit. The Lions still got the best team in that division. They got to get past Detroit before they even get to the Eagles. The Marcus Parsons will help the defense, but the Packers still on offense got to find who gonna be their key wide receiver, because I know Matt LaFleur like to, spread the ball, but it's too many people dropping the ball. They led the league in drop passes as a wide receiver tandem. So they should go ahead and get Matthew Golden sometime. But Marcus Parsons will help the defense.
You just get Matthew Golden sometime.
No, I said they got to get him involved. They got to get him. They got to make him the number one so they can go ahead and compete.
I believe he is the number one.
Right, we will see. But they like to spread the ball around to different wide receivers.
What that mean? So, what do that have to do with him being the number one receiver? Because they spread the ball around. Who's the number one receiver in Kansas City?
Who the number one? Rashidi Rice.
Okay,
but
Kansas City spread the ball around.
That's because Rashidi Rice hasn't been playing.
Even when Rashidi Rice was there playing last year, they still spread the ball. He got hit, but they still spread the ball around.
Travis Kelce was a no-show when Rashidi Rice was playing. He played worse and worse when the only time he got good was when Rashidi Rice got injured. But I see what you're saying. You have to spread the ball, but they need a main person when they need a big play. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Marcus Parsons will help the defense by using his pass rush especially. But now we know that he got a back problem. Hopefully that back problem won't cause him any setbacks, but he's supposed to play. But no, Detroit still is the cream of the crop.
What up, Dave? I'm gonna say, do I think they're a threat to knock off the Eagles? It could be an argument made between them and Detroit, but I'm gonna say yes, they can be a threat to knock off the Eagles.
Okay.
You look at their run game; they got a good run game, and Josh Jacobs. Excuse me. Josh Jacobs was top 3 running back last year in the NFL. I believe he's gonna do the same thing this year in Green Bay. I believe with the addition of Matthew Golden, that wide receiver, the more playing time him and Jordan Love get together, the more chemistry they get together, it's going to get better throughout the season. Kind of like Bryce Young and Tech McMillan in Carolina. I believe Green Bay got enough on the offensive end to make explosive plays. We've seen that last year, even with the drop balls, as you were saying, it was still an explosive offense last year. But you add Michael Parsons to that defense, that changes everything, because now they can really be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Especially throwing the ball upfield or aggressive play calling, because they know at some point in time they can easily get the ball back with a defensive freak and Michael Parsons on the other side of the ball. Even though Philadelphia has one of the best offensive lines in football, they did when Parsons was in Dallas, and they were still having trouble with him.
Right.
Game planning for him on the defensive side of the football. I think he's going to make that defense even more talented, even more dangerous than what they was last year, because even last year they ended the season as one of the top-ranked defenses in the NFL. Now you add a guy like Parsons, I think that's going to make it even better. And you look at where Philadelphia had a lot of their trouble at last year, they could get to the quarterback pass rusher, but you was able to run the ball on them effectively. Right. That could keep you in 2 games last year. And I think Green Bay has some of the formula on offense to be able to run the ball well and keep Philadelphia off the field. So you won't be getting too many big explosive players from Barkley, A.J. Brown, can't forget about him. Devontae Smith, can't forget about him. And that Eagles offense. But I think Green Bay, with the addition of Micah, if not 1A, maybe 1B in the NFC that have a chance to knock off the Philadelphia Eagles from going to a second straight Super Bowl.
Right. The only reason why I said Detroit because Detroit is getting back their best pass rusher, Hutchinson, this year. So remember, before he got injured, Detroit defense was up in the top 5 in defensive standing. So getting him back and still having that offense with Jahmyr Gibbs and Williams, and the Sun guy and Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery. I feel as though, and plus Detroit got something to prove. Detroit got some chip on their shoulder. They keep getting close, but they always lose at the end. So I feel as though they're gonna come in this season focus on what they need to do is to win the NFC Championship and go to the Super Bowl.
You don't think
the Eagles?
You don't think the losing Ben Johnson and even Eric Glenn on the defensive side of the football has been the defensive coordinator and Ben Johnson been the offensive coordinator? You don't think losing them two will have any impact on Detroit on both sides of the football?
It might have a little impact, but what Detroit did that most good organizations do, they promote within. They promoted Johnny Morton, who now is the offensive coordinator, who been in the system with Ben Johnson. I don't forget who the defensive coordinator of the Detroit, but he's been in that system with Eric Glenn, so he's know how the system is. They plug those two in there, so they won't have to go out of the box or out of the to.
Remember, we thought the same thing with Philadelphia that 1 year.
But Philadelphia,
and that didn't pan out, you know what I'm saying? Because you still got to get used to the new. The offensive coordinator ain't go run the same plays, or obviously be the same plays, but had the same mindset or terminology or whatever as Ben Johnson. Of course, it's going to be a little different.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and this is the National Football League. Teams, as players, you gotta learn that and understand that. And again, I understand you saying they promoted within. You can promote within, but your within cannot be the same as what you just let go. They may have their own way. Look at Josh Daniels and Bill Belichick. Everybody was so high on Daniels, his first departure from New England, and he went to Denver, I believe. Was it Denver?
He went to Denver,
and he tried to bring that same
but he couldn't.
Belichick mentality tree over there, and it didn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Because he had to be his own self.
My point. So I think I'm not gonna say that's gonna be a huge concern, but I'm gonna put a little bit of concern on that. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? He may utilize Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery differently.
He probably will.
Like we don't know. So that's always a concern going into the season, the unknown. But I mean, I understand on some of the things you were saying and where you're coming from, like the Hutchinson. I do agree with that. And did they bring back Darius Smith?
No, it's only Hutchinson and the other defensive end. They did not bring back Darius Smith. They get back Anzalone. They still have Kirby, the safety. So they got the main gist of their defensive back, which Hutchinson is leading that pack. Also, I got an example. Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay, they lost two of their offensive coordinator, and they kept going because they was in that system. So in that system, yeah, you might call it a different play, but you understand what type of plays are called. He might call a different terminology, but it's the same play. And he also is trying to utilize Montgomery and Gibbs together in the backfield. So that's the only thing that's different. And they also trying to get Jamison Williams involved more downfield. So the difference.
And that's a lot what you said as far as right. You try to add and change. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you add a lot of things in,
right,
and you change a lot of things in. So that gotta become some type of factor as far as like how the new offensive coordinator is gonna come in there and think.
Now,
you know what I'm saying? We saw Ben Johnson call timeout in certain situations where we might not see this offensive coordinator be like, hey, call it. No, it's different things you just got to get used to. But I mean, I'm not opposed to what you said. You still say Detroit. I'm gonna say Detroit Green Bay 1A, 1B. So
Okay, so it should be a good divisional battle this year because they play
it
each other
should.
twice.
It should. You
So
got.
we'll see. And Chicago and
I
Minnesota.
was about to say, yeah, you can't. I don't think you forget about Chicago or even Minnesota. I think people. A lot of people talk about the AFC North. I think the NFC North is a very competitive division as well. I really do. And what's crazy is I think who Detroit opened up against? Is it Green Bay?
I got to look.
Well, we'll find out and let y'all know. But did somebody say Baker? Yeah, that was Kels. Speaking of the Cowboys, them trading Michael Parsons and the whole bad breakup that was, how things was looking, everything that was said. How does this trade make the Cowboys look?
This trade make the Cowboys look like, and somewhat make them look like they are genius because Michael Parsons now got a back injury, but it also make them look like they can't take care of their people like they always have. With,
well, let's see how that back injury look now that he done got paid and he ain't in Dallas. People always hurt. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to a trade request or they trying to get out somewhere, then all of a sudden they get that new deal. A la look at James Harden.
Exactly.
Big as a house. What he got to, was it Brooklyn? I believe.
He got to Brooklyn, got skinny than a mother lover.
Yeah, it was Philly. He came to Philly training camp. Like he been eating one too many triple cheeseburgers and he get traded to Brooklyn. All of a sudden, within 2 days, 2-3 days, all that's gone. But go ahead, I didn't mean to cut you off.
But yeah, what I was about to say. But yeah, it looked like Parsons is Dallas looked like a fool. But they got a good haul back. I think they got 2 first-round picks. They got Kenny Clark, which is not Micah Parsons, but he is an interior lineman who can rush the passer along with Oduze and Dexter Lawrence on that field. They looking to try to stop the run more because they was getting gas in the run. You still got overshadowed. They just signed Deron Bland to a new contract, so he get paid. So he probably happy, as a corner. And, Travion Diggs is coming back from his injury. Let's see how that goes. And they still got Hooker at the safety. So they got some type of players that can fit. It depends on the defensive coordinator, how he can run that system and how you're going to manufacture more sacks because Parsons is gone. But the 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark, that was a good comeback for them because they needed them 2 first-round picks to go ahead and rebuild and see where they can get for them picks. And also they couldn't afford Michael Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, and Dak Prescott, and then George Pickens coming along. So they had to make a decision.
Man, listen. To me, this made the Cowboys look like now you may start having other players look at them like, do I really want to go there and play? Especially if I'm talented and know eventually I'm trying to get paid. Am I really gonna want to go there? Because I see either A is gonna be a struggle on getting paid, or B is gonna be a hell of a struggle to get paid. He got personal with Parsons and Jones, 2 first-round picks next year, and didn't pay that. So, good point, JD. So again, I think teams are gonna start looking at like, I wouldn't be surprised if soon within a year or 2 you see them move on from Dak Prescott or CeeDee Lamb. I can see that happening. Within the 2 year span. And then as far as the draft picks for the Cowboys, you said they got a haul back. It ain't like these gonna be top 10 picks. We know Green Bay about to be making the playoffs. So even though, and I know you're about to say they still first-round picks. I get it.
They play the middle rounds.
No, they more or less gonna be like,
unless they go to the Super Bowl.
Pick 28, pick 29. I think the Packers are going to go deep into the playoffs this season. I think
they're going to be more or less in the 10 to 15, maybe 15, 20. 15,
so you
20.
said the Packers only won like 8 to 9 games then, maybe 10.
No, they can go 11-5 and still being like in the 10 to 15, 20 range.
I see the Packers.
It depends on Jordan Love.
At least That too. But remember, even last year, there was a lot of people picking Jordan Love to win MVP. And now you
Yeah,
get a guy in Parsons who's gonna really help that on the defense, especially coming from the defensive side of the football.
right.
But we'll see. But I think Dallas again, and them two draft picks are gonna be high draft picks. So it ain't like you getting top 5, top 10 picks. You know what
But
I'm
you
saying?
still can
But
package
again,
it.
their first round picks. I just think it make Dallas look like, we talk about teams like the Steelers who don't like to pay people. Really, they receivers. They don't like to pay wide receivers. I don't know why. You look at
Because they feel
Hines
like
Ward. You look at Pickens
shit.
now.
George Pickens.
Yeah, Pickens, Hines Ward. You can even look at. I know he's a running
um,
back. Le'Veon Bell,
Antonio Bryant,
Antonio
AB,
Brown, Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown.
Uh, so I don't know, but I know one thing, Jerry Jones. I don't think the Cowboys. If the Cowboys want to get back to winning Super Bowls, man, and being relevant or whatever it is may be, Jerry Jones to me got to take a step back. He got to take a step back, man. He got to, because right now he all headlines and kind of remind me of you. You know what I'm saying? In some ways, you want mind looking bad and winning instead of looking good and winning. Um, you'd rather look good and lose than look bad and win. And that's Jerry Jones, man. Like, he all about headlines until he learn how to take a step back. I think the Cowboys, like Stephen A. Smith, his little anthem song, they're accident waiting to happen. Accident waiting to happen, and it was just the latest of the accidents. Get rid of Parsons, man. And
Well, Parsons, what I heard from what I was hearing, that Parsons and Jerry Jones had a deal for a 6-year deal. Parsons turned it down after his
with a handshake, they had the handshake.
Yeah, the handshake. And Jerry Jones usually do that way. He knows to look, man. We got a handshake. I give you the 6 year for more guaranteed money. And Parsons' agent found out and was like, no. And I think that's where the bad blood came from. I don't think it was from Parsons. I think Jerry Jones still loved Parsons. He just didn't like the agent. So the agent was the one that facilitated this trade out of the Dallas, because I really don't think Jones really wanted to trade him. But if you want to trade him, you have to get back something that's that's almost equal to him. Kenny Clark is a nice Pro Bowl defensive tackle.
Don't say Kenny Clark is equal to Michael Parsons.
No, I said close to it. So Kenny Clark is a defensive tackle who can stop the run, who can also pass rush. It's a Pro Bowl. They got the 2 first-round picks. That's why I said equal. The 2 first-round picks are the equal. I'm talking about all together. I ain't saying all together is the equal of what's name. And on top of that, you ain't have to pay him $47 million.
So Clark, 2 high first round draft picks that we don't know what they're going to.
But it is, yeah, right.
Is equal to Michael Parsons.
Yes, because you got back a pass rusher who also can stop the run, and you still got Dexter Lawrence, and you still got the other dude. I can't say his name. I'm not gonna try. And you also got Mozzie Smith on that.
So basically, what you're saying is Kenny Clark is a better fit for them than Michael Parsons.
If you're gonna trade him, you might well get somebody who can fit into your thinking. That's what Jerry Jones' thinking was. I ain't saying it was better, but that's what he said. They needed to stop the run, so they was looking at defensive linemen, teams with good defensive linemen who can help them stop the run. So they looked at Green Bay. Green Bay was willing to pay him $47 million. They was willing to give 2 first-round picks, and they was willing to give away their Pro Bowl defensive tackle.
Yeah, like I said the other day, I think it was more or less, it just got personal, because once Michael Parsons talked to my agent, and once the agent wasn't really trying to hear the numbers that Dallas was trying to give, especially looking at some of the deals that was being handed out over the offseason anyway, I think he got personal with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones think he just run everything. Jerry Jones think he just him. Jerry Jones can't do no wrong, and in this situation with Parsons backfired, and it got personal with him, so that's why he got traded.
All right, my question: you think Parsons worth $47 million?
You say what?
Is he worth $47 million, Mark Parsons?
Pay the man.
Is he worth? If he
pay the man,
more than
pay the man, pay the man, pay the man. Like conversations like this, I don't even engage in with you because you don't like to pay nobody. You a firm believer.
I like to pay people worth.
I don't know, so no. Pay Michael Parsons. Pay the man. Pay the man.
Yeah, Parsons good, but he only averaged 12 sacks a year.
Pay the man.
That's what you get for $47 million.
Pay the man. Moving on. NFL season kicks off Thursday. Cowboys. And then we talk about the Cowboys. Cowboys versus Eagles. The era without Michael Parsons, it begins. Tell me what you're looking for into this game and what you expect to see from opening kickoff Thursday. Cowboys, Eagles.
I'm looking to see how the Eagles play after the Super Bowl. I'm intrigued on what
they
they're
got
going
that
to
Super Bowl hangover.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see how they go utilize Saquon Barkley. If they go utilize him like they did last year, or they go just do baby steps.
Oh, not the man had about over 400 touches last
472 touches.
Sheesh.
So hopefully they try to ease them in and let's see, because they missing a lot of people on the defensive side. They still got Cooper DeJean. They still got Quinn Mitchell of the corners. They still got Jalen Clark.
They still got that D line.
Yeah, they still got the D line. They got the Georgia boys, so they still good on the D line. Let's see if they throw the ball a little bit more. I'm interested to see if they gonna throw the ball to AJ Brown or Smith or Goddard on the Cowboys side. I want to see how they gonna run their offense. If they gonna try to utilize the run game, or they gonna let Dak throw 45 times a game. If they let Dak throw 45 times a game, that means the running game is not doing their job. And so Dak and CeeDee Lamb gonna be one of them boys, and George Pickens on the other side gonna be like T. Higgins. You know, it gonna be Chase and CeeDee Lamb.
I'll tell y'all, I felt who the Cowboys became once they traded Parsons. The Bengals. I think they're gonna be slinging it left and right. I think they're gonna be one of the highest points per game teams this year. I think they're going to have one of the highest offensive team stats this year. I don't think the running game is going to be existent. It's going to be non-existent. I know you like Javonte. I know you like Javonte Williams.
I think Javonte Williams.
You might have him on one of your fantasy teams. That's another guy you pulling for.
See, I always like Javonte Williams.
What y'all got to understand, anything always for kills is going to come back to
no, that's a lie. Because
I'm not sitting up here saying the Cowboys not going to run the football. I'm not saying Javonte Williams not going to have any rushing touchdowns this season, but I don't. Their strong part is going to be their passing game. Dak might come out throw the ball 40 to 45 times a game.
Well, with Brian Schottenheimer, he had his best when Brian Schottenheimer was the offensive coordinator. The year that he had his best season is when he was calling the plays. That was that year when he threw like almost 40 touchdowns, and CeeDee Lamb had all them great plays.
CeeDee Lamb was the number one. CeeDee Lamb was the number one guy in your world fantasy football.
So we will see how that goes. But me personally, I think they're gonna try to open up, trying to run the ball, because that is one of the weakness of Philadelphia now. You're gonna have to try to ball control them. But we'll see. I mean, every year is a different year. Every year turns out different. What
did Dallas do on the offensive end, especially with the offensive line, to make you feel like they're going to run the ball more besides them getting Javonte Williams and him being on your fantasy team?
I always like the Javonte Williams. So it's not because they're on my fantasy. I think Javonte Williams is an explosive running back who's just coming back from his injury. This is second year off that injury. And if you feed him
what have Dallas done to make you feel that, though? What have they done?
Because you can pass and open up your run game. You can pass to open up your run game. Meaning that if you pass a lot, meaning that you can pass, get them little 5-6 yard dunks, and then you can hand the ball off, and Javonte can get like 3 or 4 yards, and then you move with the chains again. And then down in the goal line situation, you can get a ball to Javonte Williams, and he can score. I would say this. I predict him. I ain't saying he gonna rush 100 yards a game. He might get 75 yards a game and a couple catches, but they can utilize him also in the passing game, in the short passing game too. They can also utilize Ferguson in the passing game. So if we just go strictly, but you will have to run the ball to get to play action, which will be a good thing because they're going to utilize CeeDee Lamb more in the slot now because they got Pickens on the outside. So they're going to have to utilize the run. to get to the play action. That's all I'm saying. So if it's 3rd and 1, they can utilize the play action by
Dallas
utilizing.
not a play action type team, though, for real, for real.
I mean, they can do it. I mean, play action is like the best thing to go deep with 3rd and 1.
But when you don't have the personnel or that ain't really your repertoire, then it's not going. That'll work for the Browns. We know the Browns is a play action.
Oh, the Browns use 2 tight end sets.
Yeah, we know they're a play action team, so we could get away with that. But for a team like Dallas, no, I'm telling you, I think Dallas, Cincinnati, it's another team.
But the most passing teams in the NFL will probably be Dallas, Cincinnati. I think the Buccaneers go pass a lot when Godwin, and I know you like Bucky Irvin, so Bucky Irvin gonna get his carries, and I still think Rachaad White gonna get some type of run, even though he already stated this might be his last year in Tampa, but I feel as though they're gonna be the 3 highest scoring teams in the NFL: Bengals, Buccaneers, and Dallas.
We'll see, but I think it's gonna be of course, I think the Eagles gonna win this game Thursday.
I'm picking Dallas.
I think it might be, to a lot of people's surprise, that a lot of points put up, because again, Dallas gonna have to pass the football and try to score some type of points to even keep up in this game. We know the Eagles gonna score points. We know the Eagles gonna run the football.
Mm-hmm.
I think Saquon Barkley might have a big opening game, unless a lot of teams do the Kales and copy what Kansas City did and try to contain Saquon Barkley.
Just copying
like they did in the Super Bowl. So
okay,
we'll find out.
Whatever work, you supposed to do it. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to.
Not for somebody who's smarter than everybody else, or who know more than.
That's what you said. I didn't never say that.
That's what you said.
I never said that.
That's what you said.
No, I never
Peacock.
said that.
I know you. Yeah. I know you watching.
Ask Peacock.
He told the same thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot Peacock one of your minions too, so he gonna agree.
He ain't one of my minions. You just don't like the fat people tell the truth about you. That's what it is. And you supposed to be telling the truth. Let's talk some NBA, man. The Cavaliers, we're a month away from the season. They got 2 big injuries on offense. Matt Strus, who's out for the next 3 to 4 months after having surgery on his
foot.
On his foot. Darius Garland with the toe surgery. My question to you is, I know it's early, but I think Matt Strus might be scheduled to come back. October,
3 or 4 months. That's probably in late February.
December, January.
Late February. I think maybe middle of February.
Can the Cavs survive, or what do you expect to see the Cavs at by the time Darius Garland and Matt Strus come back?
We still got one of the best players in the NBA, and Donovan Mitchell. We still got the boy Evan Mobley.
Who put on some weight too.
And Jared Allen. And Lonzo Ball is the key to all this. I think Lonzo Ball staying healthy because he can run that point guard position a little better than Darius Garland. I ain't saying he's better than Garland, but he know how to handle the ball. He also know how to distribute the ball. That'll be our first true point guard we had in the Cavaliers system. And we still have Sam Merrill, DeAndre Hunter, who can also contribute to the small forward spot from Matt Strus coming back. And also, Sam Merrill, all them can contribute.
Sam Merrill better come out here and ball after getting that contract.
Right. Tyson, and, our rookie Tyson Proctor. We're going to have to utilize them. We should also look on the waiver wire and see if we can use our mid-level exception on Michael Beasley. I like Michael Beasley. He can come in.
The Cavs is looking at him. I like him.
They should have already offered him a contract, because the one thing Bees can do is he can shoot the 3 and play defense. And what we need from the perimeter is somebody who can play defense, who can lock down one of their best scorers, not lock down, but contain one of their best scorers, and also contribute on the 3-point line. So that's why I'm looking. The Cavs going to be okay, because we got one of the best players with Mitchell, and he can just do his little playmaking, and Lonzo Ball can take the bigger. Lonzo Ball is a bigger defensive player, and he's a bigger guard. If Lonzo Ball stay healthy, the Cavs will be okay. The Cavs can be cool until
the Cavs can be cool.
I said the Cavs.
You said the Cavs could be cool.
Well, the Cavs already cool. The Cavs can be cool until Strus and Garner come back.
Look, I definitely agree. First point, Lonzo Ball is going to be a big key on the offensive end, and health is always a big concern when it comes to ball. Health is always a big concern. With Darius Garland being out, we need Ball to step up. No, he can't shoot the ball as well as Darius Garland, but his defense is better than Darius Garland. He's a big guard. He can also drop assists too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really helped Donovan Mitchell to where he don't have to be playing a point guard position a lot, especially with when Darius Garland went to the bench, D. Mitchell's like the point guard out there.
Exactly.
But with Ball being out there, he don't have that much pressure on him. And then you got the kid from Duke, Proctor, who you bring in. They still got Porter Jr., Sam Merle. Like I said, is going to be a big key to this, especially with him getting that contract. I need more from you, Sam. I need more from you. And we can't forget about DeAndre Hunter, a guy who we traded for last season, that I feel now with a full training camp, a full offseason with the Cavs, will be better with next season, this upcoming season starting next month. I think he'll be better. So, again, it's always a concern when you miss your starting point guard and one of your key bench reserve players who can also start as well and match juice. It's always going to be some type of level of concern, but I'm not going to be too much concerned, especially with us adding Alonzo Ball to the squad. And like you said, hopefully we can add a Malik Beasley to the squad, a guy that can shoot the ball and play defense. I think we'll be okay. Again, I'm expecting Mobley to take an even bigger step.
Yeah.
Got to look like he'd have been into the gym, put on a little weight. Donovan Mitchell, it's time for you to sometimes, especially now with Darius Garland not being there,
He's more happy.
you got to be selfish. You got to be selfish sometimes this year. I get it. You're a great teammate, but now, especially with you needing to get out past the second round of the playoffs,
Exactly.
been in a while. So, But I expect the Cavs to be okay. And then you look at how the East. It's not too many teams in the East that you got to be worried about now. Milwaukee losing Dame, trade him back to Portland. I don't think they did enough to surpass the Cavs. They added Miles Turner, but I don't think that's enough to surpass the Cavs. You look at Boston. Not expecting to have Tatum. Then they lose Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. But we know Boston is a well-coached team, so I still expect them to be competitive. But I don't see them being enough to overtake the Cavs right now. You look at Miami; they didn't do enough in the offseason.
Did they do anything?
No, not really. So I think the only team you can really look at might be the Knicks.
The Knicks.
They lost Thibodeau. They bring in Mike Brown, a well-known coach.
Is that is that an upgrade, or is because Mike Brown? Don't get me wrong, Mike Brown is a good coach, but Mike Brown had a lot of talent surrounding him coaching-wise. I'm not telling his coaching wasn't good, because you have to manage their egos. But what type of offensive system is Mike Brown going to bring? Mike Brown going to bring the defense, and you got the defensive stars on New York with Bridges and.
You look at his offense wasn't bad in Sacramento. It wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It wasn't bad, but you had offensive players like Sabonis and Murray, and De'Aaron Fox was the head of that.
Now he got Jalen Brunson.
But they got Cat and baby OG and
Bridges, who they just signed to an extension. Bridges,
right?
They still got Mitchell Robinson. No,
Bridges on the defensive side.
Defensive side.
They center position is
Facts.
really not.
What's up, Will?
They center position is really not their strength on the offensive side. Defensively, yes. Offensively, no. So they go basically still rely on Brunson.
They got Cat.
They still gonna rely on Brunson. But that's the only team that really I'm looking. Orlando got better.
Indiana missed Tyrese Halliburton. So
for the whole year, Orlando got better. when they picked up Desmond Bain, which can
I like
shoot
that.
outside, and they needed that outside shooter
They
with
got Jalen
that
Suggs
young
coming
team.
back as well.
Yeah, so they got their whole squad coming back from last year. So Orlando will be something to contend with. Detroit is the sneakiest one because Detroit with with the Cavs. There was I forgot the old Cavs coach name.
JB Bickerstaff.
JDB, yeah, Bickerstaff. He got Cunningham. They picked up Duncan Robinson, which is a great
And
outside
Karis LeVert.
and Karis LeVert. So they got a bench. They bench gonna be. I think what happened to Detroit is that they have nobody come off the bench to score. So they outworked. They kept their Cade Cunningham a little too long, and he got tired.
I think more or less with Detroit, they were just that team that they just wasn't ready last year.
Okay.
I mean, they made a big step in the regular season, showing that we up and coming. You know what I'm saying? Like we coming. Again, you mentioned Cade Cunningham. I like him. Jalen Duran. You know, as long as he stay healthy, he anchor in the middle. You said who?
Jaden Ivey,
who missed all of last season with an injury. He'll be coming back. So yeah, I agree with you. Detroit is gonna be one. Detroit, Orlando might be them two teams we looking at in the East. Like, okay,
yeah,
all right.
and then
especially with the East being wide open, with all the injuries that's going on. So, but I think the Cavs gonna be all right. The Cavs.
But then this might not be. People gonna be like, okay, whatever. But if Philly get healthy, Philly gonna be something to contain with because they still got Embiid, they still got Massey, and it depends on Paul George. If Paul George get healthy enough, I think that trio is a good enough piece to contend.
But what Embiid you gonna get? That's the question. What Embiid you gonna get? That's the question.
That's the question. He's been out for the whole year, so hopefully he rest up, heal that knee because a healthy Embiid is something to deal with.
It is
a real healthy Embiid and a motivated Embiid is something to deal with. So just looking for now, I think Philly gonna make a bounce back because Nick Nurse is a good coach who took a team to the finals and won the finals. So I think Philly will be okay if depends. It's a big if George, Massey, and Embiid are healthy. That's a big if. I know it's a big ass if, but they better than what their record showed last year.
Big if, especially when you're talking about Paul George and Joel Embiid, who are two of the top players in the league the past couple of seasons, to miss a lot of games, man. Like
that's who G should have called street clothes.
You said who?
That's who G should have called them street clothes brother.
Who Embiid
and George.
The thing with Embiid, man, I don't, especially coming to the season last year, like you played in the Olympics, you know what I'm saying, and this come start of the season, like you out.
Yeah, and that was weird because he really, but if you really look at the Olympics, he really didn't play no minutes all like that because they was getting because in the Olympics you can't have a big man because how the spacing is, and they was out spacing. All the other countries was out spacing the Americans, so they had to go small. So they had to go like Durant at the small. Durant at whatever, Bam at center, and whatever was going. So they had to go small. So he really didn't play as much as I thought he played. But when he got to training camp, it was like, oh, his knee sore. Like, damn, what did he do?
All right.
I mean, bring him along. They better put him in some bubble wrap and don't play him no preseason game and let him play. Let him play in the regular season. Start him off with 20 minutes a game or something and ram him up. That's all I can think of. That's what I would do if I was.
I don't know, man. Again,
George and Embiid would be playing 20 to 25 minutes, and I'll be doing it in quarters. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there.
Something got to help with them brothers, man, to keep them on the court. But yeah, besides the Knicks, I think that's it.
Orlando. I think Orlando and Detroit.
And maybe Detroit. I do think Orlando, Detroit, again, it's them two teams, young teams that I see about to start making some noise. I love the addition of Desmond Bain. I even like the additions that Detroit brought in with Cass LeVert and bringing back Ivy. And Duncan Robinson, another shooter.
They got more shooter.
Yeah,
they got more
shooter you can put around Cade. So I really like what them two teams did. And yeah, they're gonna be the next two teams that we see, you know what I'm saying, in the East coming up. But other than that, I don't see nobody really opposing the threat to the Cavs, even with us missing Darius Garland and Matt Strus, because we do have Ball, and Ball is going to be the big X factor, and this X factor is going to be health.
So, and I forgot another player though that we got back Larry Nance Jr., which will help on the defensive side, and also he can hit the little in betweeners and a 19-foot jump shot. We got a bona fide backup center forward type of player, and he knows to play defense. So welcome back, Nash Jr. Now let's go. We try to get this title without LeBron. Let's go. Not saying too much.
As usual, that'll be big as usual. We got a Friday game as well. Kansas City, San Diego. We're gonna talk about that on Friday's show. For Pick One Sip on Friday. But September 13th, it's the fight.
You're right.
The updates on the fight. Canelo. Why can't I get people names? Crawford. Why can't I get people names out today? Crawford, Canelo. Anything change your mind for us to fight? Who you picking as a winner?
I got Canelo. Canelo is going to be too strong. Crawford is a skillful fighter. Don't get me wrong. He know how to switch up. He know how to switch from his left. He know how to go left to right. His skill set is good. Crawford going to have to hope that Canelo wear down like he usually do going in later in the rounds. But what Canelo did was he sparred with Ennis, he's sparring with Ennis. So Boots. So he boots Ennis. So he sparred with Boots. So he used to what type of skill set, because Ennis do the same thing that Crawford do. He switch up. He'll switch hitter. So he might come in orthodox, then he'll come in on the left, do the left, and then that's how Canelo. But what Canelo do that no fighters don't do is he continue to hit your arm. So he hitting your arms, he hitting some part of your body that gonna wear you down. And I just think Canelo is a natural cruise middleweight. So it's gonna be hard for Crawford to sustain his power, because Crawford never been hit by a dude like Canelo. Canelo been knocking people out bigger than him all his career. So he gonna have to hit and run, get out, in and out, and just hopefully Canelo will slow down. But he been working with Boots, so he know what type of fighter that is gonna happen, because Boots and Crawford is like the same type of fighter, a slick fighter, but Canelo got the power. So if Canelo handle, he beat up Charlo, who is a 154 pounder, and he only went up one weight and dominated Charlo. So Canelo is going to dominate this fight. This fight going to be, I just hope Crawford use that snack program, because he going to need that snack.
Let's just say,
he going to need that snack.
Hypothetically speaking, or saying, let's just say Crawford upset him, because apparently this would be an upset if Crawford win. If Crawford win the fight. What's next
for Crawford?
If that happened, yeah. What's next?
Crawford would be the GOAT. Crawford would be the only boxer in boxing history to go a 3-weight division and win a title. I think this for undisputed. He might be undisputed, so he'd be undisputed in three different weight divisions. Nobody ever had done that. So he going for greatness. I understand why he's doing that. If he come out and beat him, the only way he gonna beat Canelo is the judge is gonna have to give him 1 point. He gonna have to outbox Canelo, because he's not gonna stand in the pocket with Canelo, because Canelo hit too hard. But one thing Canelo do that he does to all his fighters is he hits you everywhere. He hits you on your forearms, he hits you on your arms, he hits you everywhere. When you throw a punch, he just hits you. So if Carper gonna have to maintain his stamina, and hopefully he can win on rounds, that he get the rounds. But if Canelo hit him with a good shot, it's night-night, because Carper has not been hit by a powerful puncher like Canelo. Never in his life. Carper is good, but then if Canelo hit him, it might be a wrap.
He has to fight Bivol.
Bivol is too big and too skillful. Carper's if he fight Bivol, he's too skillful and too big for Carper. Carper and Bivol is like the same in a different weight class. Bivol is like Carper in that weight class. But after he beat Canelo, he should just retire and go ahead, because shit, he'd be almost 40. He's 40 years there than 40. He don't have to prove no more. He beat the best boxer in boxing history. So I just roll on the sunset and be like, got my money, I got my back, I got my belts, let's go. Because he's not going to beat Bivol. Bivol is too fast and too powerful for him and too big. Carper, take your butt and retire if you beat Canelo, because you cannot fight them other big boys up in there. You can't.
We gonna see. Obviously, the whole world, and including yourself, is taking Canelo in this fight against Crawford. We'll see. But it's gonna be real interesting to see.
It's gonna be a good fight.
If Crawford somehow could pull out the upset.
Yeah, you're gonna have to use that snack.
They have to use that snack. Floyd will always be the GOAT no matter what.
You're gonna have to use that snack.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content like you received tonight. Appreciate everybody that tuned in on the Diva Spivey Media Network. Continue to support that network as well. We're doing good things, doing great things, but as everybody knows, you can always get better and continue to keep getting better, and that's what we're doing over here at DSMN, Diva Spivey Media Network. We're going to catch y'all Friday for Pick One, Sip One Friday. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know what we do, so make sure y'all tune in Friday. Same time, same place, 7 p.m. on the Diva Spivey Media Network, also on YouTube. For myself, for Kels, y'all stay safe. My brother got to get up, man, and rest his leg. I'm going through it right now. Y'all stay safe, man.
You did a great job going through it. See?
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Salute to you.
You fight through it.
Fight through it. I'm a fighter. Y'all stay safe, man. We're going to catch y'all same time, same place Friday.
Like the Cavs, we gotta let them know. They got it with a shield for bees. They got it with a shield for bees. Like the Cavs, we gotta let them know.
You are now locked in with Antoine Spivey. This is EnDaZone Sports.